I'm Elizabeth Vowell. I have been at WAFB for more than 10 years now, going on 11 years this June, which is hard to believe. I'm from Mississippi originally, came here from Biloxi, a sister station, WLOX, and have been here ever since. So there's just been so many things over the last decade that I will never forget from this TV station. But one of those events was in 2015. There was a U.S. Deputy Marshal named Josie Wells who was killed in the line of duty. He was on his very first mission in the Baton Rouge area. He wasn't even from Louisiana. He was a Mississippi federal agent who was actually on loan to Louisiana for the very special task force, very first mission, and he's killed right there. And right afterwards, his wife comes, and his widow, and she was very, very big pregnant. And there's this image of her standing outside the coroner's office, holding her belly, crying, being held by the other marshals. And it was just heartbreaking to see. Something that really struck me about that case, though, and it made it very personal, was I realized somewhere through the day of covering this that we were the same age, and we were from the same state. And something about that just struck home for me. And watching his wife as his new widow crying and holding her belly with their child, it just broke your heart. And we all felt it. And what made it so heartbreaking too was this guy was just a visitor. He was on loan for us, and he was taking his life in his own hands, coming to help our community and try to protect and serve our community that he didn't even belong to. One of the things I've always loved about WAFB is anytime something bad happens, we don't just cover the story, very sad, and move on. We always ask the question, how can we make this better? Or what can we do next? And so somebody came up with the idea of let's do a fundraiser. We reached out to the U.S. Marshal's office, and they were immediately on board and ran with the idea. And just one day, we called it Together for Josie. We just set up people literally on the corner of Government Street right outside the TV station. We had Deputy U.S. Marshals, we had members of the police department, sheriff's departments, lots of different agencies who came out and just were standing there with buckets. And people from all over the Baton Rouge area drove in all day long. They would stop in the middle of Government Street, roll down their window, just hand over a couple of bucks at a time. It was so thrown together in the last just over a couple of days, and the response was just absolutely unbelievable. We couldn't believe how many people who never knew this man, never knew his family, had just heard his story, heard what he did for our community, and they just wanted to help. And it was the most heartwarming thing to see. And in that one day, 24 hours, we raised over $50,000 for this family. And it didn't replace Josie, it didn't bring him back, but maybe it helped out that family in a dark, dark time to let them know that they weren't alone, that this whole community was thankful for what he did and thankful for his sacrifice, and that they were there to say, thank you, and we're here for you, and we support you, and we remember you, and remember him, and remember what he did. That's something that has stayed with me for many, many years, and I don't think will ever leave.
Hi, I'm Johnny Asian. Thank you for checking out the WAFB YouTube channel. Like what you see? Go ahead and subscribe by clicking this box, and you'll get notified when new content is released. Make sure you also download the WAFB 9 News app for breaking news alerts sent right to your phone.